any discussion of scales needs to start with a discussion of the fundamentals, a quick review of what's really important about scales. Now, I think a lot of people believe that fingering is the most important thing about scales, but actually, I think that fingering is the most adjustable, the freest part of our scales. After all our scales are fingered the same, so we have a lot of fingering options for our scales, and you don't want to get locked into just one. So what I think is the most important aspect of scales to concentrate on from a technique aspect is the cross under or crossover. And we talked about this before. It's just really critical. I'm playing a G major scale here, just so you know. But when your hand is on the strings properly and it's centered, all your fingers are nicely curved and your thumb is high, you've got a nice big space so that you can play your thumb properly, your fingers close into your hand. Those first three notes are great, and then you have to cross under with your fourth finger, or with your third finger perhaps would be another scale option. And you need to have enough room that your thumb can play. We talked about this just recently, didn't we, with thumbs? So you want to have enough room that your thumb can play, and you need to have enough security with the placing of your fourth finger that your thumb feels confident and your fourth finger isn't wiggly on the string, so that your thumb can play. Then your fourth finger serves as the pivot point to go on from there so you can finish that scale, in this case, a 1-octave scale. So the most important aspects of the cross under here are going to be these. When you get to that thumb and you're crossing under, place your fourth finger far enough down the string, not way far down where you can't reach, but far enough down that your thumb still has room to play. And then and securely on the string so that it's not wobbling. Then play your thumb, use your fourth finger to pivot, place the rest of your fingers on the string, center your hand over those 4 notes, and then go. Right? So we've got the placement of your fourth finger, not scrunched up against your thumb, nice and low-ish, naturally low, not stretched down way too low, but just naturally low. And then we've got that, we want that space for your thumb so that the cross under is nice and even. Remember also that this is going to involve shifting your arm. This isn't just a hand thing, so that when your hand is centered over those first 4 notes, that's one position. Then it recenters just a little bit for the cross under. Then it recenters big time as you place those next 4 notes. And that placement involves moving your arm, involves moving your upper arm back, bending that elbow so that you can keep your hand centered. Now, crossing over on the way down is very similar. You're going to start, just those first 3 notes are kind of nothing, right? But then your fourth finger's on the string. Don't place your thumb too low. That's a big mistake. If you place your thumb too low, your hand is all scrunched up and nothing will play well. So let your thumb place so that your hand doesn't feel scrunched, but that it feels open. This will give your fourth finger room to play, and it will keep your thumb high enough that you can place your other fingers on the string and play with a nice equal sound that's not all tense and tight because it's scrunched up. So once again, you're recentering your hand, aren't you? Because your hand is centered over those first notes, it pivots, it moves for the crossover, and then recenters again for those last 4 notes. Don't do it all with your wrist. Remember to move your arm, right? We've got that whole arm to support our hand. That's what's important. Now, if in a cross under or crossover situation, you feel like you're getting too far up the strings or too far down the strings, you can slide. You can slide so that if your cross under is too low and you feel like you're playing too far down on the strings, after you play your thumb, but before you play your fourth finger, slide up just a little bit as you replace your other fingers. It's almost one motion, so that you're going to play your thumb, and then as you replace your other fingers, you can slide up a little bit. Just be sure to complete your slide before you play your fourth finger, otherwise you won't get the same kind of sound. So that's our brief review of scale fundamentals. Center your hand. Leave enough room when you cross under or cross over so that your thumb and fourth finger can both play. Then move your arm to keep your hand centered. So those are the basic fundamentals. Now the basic fundamental fingering, that's something else we can talk about.